Chase, you came on the show, you came on national TV a couple days ago. You said if the Vikings get Aaron Rodgers, it's a grand slam.
Grand slam, baby.
So if they don't even take a swing, what does that make it?
I don't think they're done taking swings yet. Let's just say that. But I do not agree with the Vikings' decision to pass on Aaron Rodgers today. Now, in the season, if JJ McCarthy's balling, it's easy to say, hey, they made the right decision. You know, 4 weeks in, if he's not doing so well, they should have got Aaron Rodgers, right? So it's a double-edged sword. I think that right now, the Minnesota Vikings, especially in the NFC, have one of the best rosters. And they've showed they can win 14 games with Sam Darnold. My whole situation, my whole thinking is JJ McCarthy's coming off injury. Had 2 knee surgeries, okay, meniscus. It's not anything crazy. He should be ready for the season. Do you go in and do you trust a season to a rookie quarterback, second-year quarterback who has played 1 game in the NFL? Look, I'm not saying I'm not a fan of JJ McCarthy. I'm not saying I don't like his game because I studied him in Michigan. I do like his game. I do think that there's some things that he can be really good at. And with Kevin O'Connell, Coach of the Year, I think that can happen. But right now, as an organization, if you can control the outside noise, if you can control the outside distractions and bring Aaron Rodgers in, I think it's hard-pressed to find anyone that doesn't say or doesn't think that Aaron Rodgers right now gives them the best chance to win a Super Bowl. Now, the Minnesota Vikings are smart. They're thinking down the road. I'm not thinking about just 2025, Chase. I'm thinking about 26. I'm thinking about 27. Can I develop J.J. McCarthy into a franchise quarterback? What does Aaron Rodgers do? Is he a 1-year rental? How does he get along with our teammates? How does he get along with our coach? So right now, I'm a hard no. I don't agree with the decision as of today to pass on Aaron Rodgers.
I like that take. I disagree with you, but I agree with the decision. I've always agreed with the decision. I think that the difference between starting J.J. McCarthy versus starting Aaron Rodgers is the difference between planting a seed versus planting a rock. Neither is going to sprout in the first year, but at least if you plant a seed, it's going to sprout in due time. If you plant Aaron Rodgers as your starting quarterback, you're not winning a Super Bowl this year. And if you start J.J. McCarthy, statistics suggest you're not winning a Super Bowl this year. First-year starters haven't won Super Bowls since the turn of the century, not named Tom Brady. So either way, you're not winning a Super Bowl this year, regardless of who you start. However, if you start J.J., you could win a Super Bowl down the line. I believe you could win a Super Bowl down the future. That's why I suggested starting J.J. versus starting Aaron, planting a seed versus planting a rock. You ain't getting neither to produce fruit now, but one might produce fruit down the line.
Just before you go, why do you think Aaron Rodgers as a starter can't win a Super Bowl when Sam Darnold got him 14 wins? I'm just
Great question. Only because, and I'll remove the animosity from it, only because nothing Aaron Rodgers has done the last 3 years suggests that he can. Firstly, he has to be able to stay healthy, right? 50% of his years, the last 2 years, he's been injured. Then his last year in Green Bay, that Green Bay team had talent. Didn't have Justin Jefferson. It didn't have Jordan Addison, but it had talent. I think it still had Aaron Jones, James Jones, correct me if I'm wrong. And that team went 8-9. So nothing Aaron Rodgers has done over the last 12, 24, 36 months of his NFL career suggests he can win a Super Bowl, hence why I don't think he would be able to.
Yeah, and I've been like this. I've been saying this all along. My homegirl, Joy Taylor, she says this. I've been telling y'all I was right, right? And I hate to say I was right, but yo, 2-5 was right. I'm thinking if I'm Kevin O'Connell, Coach of the Year, and I'm thinking about, if I change Sam Darnold, because before that year started, if you said, hey, this team is going to have Sam Darnold as a starting quarterback, and they're going to win 14 games and go to the playoffs, and he's going to have 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns, nobody on this desk, on this panel would have said, I believe that. Correct?
True.
Correct.
Right?
100%
Correct. So when that happens, okay, oh, wow, if I could do this with Sam, who, I mean, you know how his career went before the Vikings, I could do this with a rookie. And another thing about, like, coaches and GMs is the hardest part is always replacing somebody, right? What's it look like if I take this player out of here and then add this other guy? How's it going to look? Well, I think they have a good example because Sam already did that. And if you take a 10th pick first rounder and JJ McCarthy, see what the kid got.
No doubt.
You know what's funny? When Aaron Rodgers was leaving Green Bay, all the question marks was, man, what are they going to do, right? Because if you look at Jordan Love, he didn't look that good. I remember his first game starting against the Chiefs. He looked awful. They had his parents all the way up to the top.
I agree.
Now I know why. Okay, they were trying to hide. Let this brother, figure it out for a second. But then once he got it, once he played, once he looked comfortable, once he was confident, you see how good Jordan Love is. So my thing is, it's so many times where we second-guess him because we haven't seen it yet. Yeah. Well, we second-guess Sam Darnold until we seen him with Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Well, we second-guess Jordan Love until we see him actually go out there and play.
Good points.
You get what I'm saying? So now that you have a chance, let your tip pick overall show you something. And if you love him, he's young, you can add more talent to the team. Let the boy play, man. He is a champion.
No doubt. Well, people need to tune in to our show every single day because sometimes we talk wild, but sometimes we make a lot of sense. In this case, you be talking wild sometimes, or sometimes
I do not be talking wild.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Anyways, Aaron Rodgers this year gives them the best chance to win a Super Bowl.
I think so, too.
That is a fact.
Yeah,
Of course.
I totally agree with the decision because you got to see what your rookie has. I said on our show, when you are a first rounder, you gon' play. I don't care if it's a two-time MVP in front of you. Aaron let us know that when Jordan Love got drafted. I'm still balling, I'm still winning MVPs, but this changes everything because at one point when this dude is in the first round and he wasn't a top 10 pick, he has to play. We keep talking about Kevin O'Connell changing around Sam Darnold. Do we remember Bo Nix last year?
Yes.
Played pretty well, was a rookie
Very well.
in
Good
that draft class.
Very great coach.
Jaden Daniels, remember, played pretty well
Cliff Kingsbury,
in
great
that
coach.
draft class.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, after Aaron Rodgers left, played pretty well.
Yeah.
You have to see what the young player has. And if he could turn out to play like some of these young fellas, you have an opportunity in the next couple years to get to a Super Bowl. Because Aaron is a one-year rental, whether we like it or not. Aaron Rodgers, it's not going to be breaking news at the ticker that says 2 years, $57 million. It's not. It's going to be a one-year deal. So he's going to be 1 year wherever he goes. So go see what the young fella got. And if he's good, you have a quarterback that you don't got to pay for the next 3 years, and you can develop your roster and go chase a championship if he's good. And he shows some bright spots in the preseason.
So
let him go play.
So we just not going to talk about it.
What's that?
I'm going to talk about it. Because
you gonna
I
talk
see your answer was a good answer, right? Chase, it came from the heart. You was kind of solid with it. But we're not going to talk about it
What we talking about?
because when Aaron Rodgers left Green Bay his last year, he didn't look that good. When he comes to the Jets, he looked okay.
Yep.
We talking about a Super Bowl? How dare y'all?
Yeah.
Listen, respectfully,
dare us.
when the brother was at his top of the top, I'm talking about MVPs back to back to back, first seeds, right? Devontae Adams and all that. He been to one Super Bowl appearance. This one.
You got the chase.
Get the water. Get the water. No,
You got the chase. When you talking crazy.
Just one, okay? He just seen it once, right? Just seen it once. And now, when he leaves Green Bay, his last year, when he looks way worse, y'all tell me he has Super Bowl capability? No. Aaron Rodgers will not win no more Super Bowls.
That's tough to argue with you on that.
No. His last year, I said this dude would not win no more Super Bowls. We had a chance to beat Detroit Lions, go to the playoffs. So at that time, I was into my gambling habits, right? Oh, wait, he got the Lions. It's the old Lions. He got the Lions? I'm betting that.
So the reason
And I lost. And I lost.
The reason why I think they have a chance to win a Super Bowl is because they won 14 games with Sam Darnold, okay? And I think if Aaron Rodgers plays like Aaron Rodgers did the last 9 to 10 games with the Jets.
Played well.
Played very well, okay? And sort of got, not back to his old self, but played good enough. And if you surround him with a team like the Minnesota Vikings and a coach like Kevin O'Connell that can bring the best of him, I do think that he gives them a better chance to get to the Super Bowl because of those reasons. Now, he's got to stay healthy, to your opinion.
Of course.
This is, we were talking about this in the pre-show meeting. But, okay, so Aaron Rodgers doesn't look like he's going to Minnesota. Where does he go? Because does he go to the Steelers? I don't think he goes to the Giants because, in my opinion, I think this is sort of furthering the conversation, is where can you further your legacy? Where can you continue to build your legacy? To me, this was only one spot, and it was the Vikings because I do think he can win a Super Bowl. I don't think he can do that with the Steelers. I don't think he can do that with the Giants. This is where I start thinking, like, man, is retirement a real possibility for Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, and I think that's a conversation that has to be had eventually. For me, I'll conclude the conversation with this. If you draft JJ and Chase, you know this best as a quarterback, you draft a guy in the top 10, if he doesn't start within the first 2 years, you shouldn't have drafted him in the top 10. Not in this day and age of the NFL. Like, a top 10 pick is everything. JD was a second rounder. James, a third rounder, myself, a sixth rounder, Chase undrafted. So we all know what a top 10 pick means. Because none of us were first-round picks, let alone top 10 picks. If you don't start in the first 2 years in the top 10, that's what the Dallas Morning News wrote. Read some of this. An excerpt from the column. He's considered one of the best players in the NFL, but last week, another teammate publicly questioned his dedication to the team. Former head coach Mike McCarthy last year expressed disappointment at Parsons' absence from voluntary team workouts. For someone who is expected to command such a large amount of money from the Cowboys, the question lingers. Do the Cowboys have a Micah Parsons problem?
That seems harsh.
Right? Dallas, we have a problem.
Yeah.
That does seem harsh.
have a problem.
That seems incredibly harsh.
You're being over-under that this guy that has made this report, he's probably never had cleats on ever.
I doubt he's played a professional.
I
doubt he's played a
Professional
professional level.
I doubt that. Maybe high school.
Yeah, probably high school. A lot of cats play in high school. Problem is harsh.
Yeah.
I can understand the sentiment from where this comes, but problem is harsh. Reason I can understand the sentiment is Micah Parsons almost carries himself as a king with no one to check him, as a ruler with no checks and balances. Like that's kind of the way he checks himself, as Shady nods on profusely. If you think about it, if y'all remember in June last year, the Cowboys had acquired a new defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer. What you would hope when you acquire a new defensive coordinator is that the star defensive player and the defensive coordinator would get along. But if y'all remember what Micah said, he said, honestly, me and Mike Zimmer, probably said a total of 20 words to each other. He's a very quiet person. All I keep hearing from coaches is, hey, Zim likes it this way. Well, I like it this way.
That's right.
That's what Micah said.
That's right.
Well, less than a month later, Malik Hooker, a teammate of Micah Parsons, he comes out and says, look, my advice for Micah would be this. Just make sure we're all right. Because if you're doing a podcast every week and we can't stop the run, you know, the run game is terrible, then people are like, hey, what do you really care about? That was less than a month later. Well, fast forward less than a year later, DeMarcus Lawrence, again, another 11-year veteran in football, he says, hey, you calling me a clown won't change the fact, I'm reading the bottom tweet, that I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left. The only suggestion is this. Micah Parsons appears to be the fixed factor here, and other people are the variables. People are coming at Micah Parsons, Malik Hooker, 7-year now, 8-year NFL vet. DeMarcus Lawrence, an 8-year NFL vet. Mike Zimmer has commanded #1 overall defenses. Problem is a very, very strong word. But you do have to ask yourself, if other people are consistently irritated by that person, what factor is that person playing in the irritation? And I wouldn't say problem, but I would definitely say clearly Micah Parsons has rubbed several people within that building the wrong way. And clearly he has been irritating to them at times, and I'm sure they have at other times. There's something. I wouldn't use the word problem, but I would be remiss, Shady, if I did not say there is something.
Yeah, so what? The game is not to get along with everybody. The game is not to be cool with this guy or understand this guy, understand his coach. The game is to win championships, right? Yep. I'm going to give you some names that maybe people looked at them in the same light. Lawrence Taylor, though, right? Great player.
Great.
I've heard so many stories where, hey, man, sometimes he misses the game. He's late. This and the third. There's always reports. But what did he do? He was a beast on the field, like Micah Parsons, and he won championships. Where is that? I mean, I've heard he was all type of an a-hole, right? Yeah. What did he do? Championships. Charles Haley, though, I'm gonna get into my bag today. You know who he is, right?
We know who he is.
We know who that guy is. Even Deion, to a certain sense of having my own thing, being a superstar role. Nobody cares, right? Nobody cares about that because only thing we care about is winning games and trying to get a championship. A guy like Parsons, you need him on your team to win championships. We talk about. I was reading how you were saying he's missing voluntary workouts. Yeah. Majority of superstars missing workouts, right? That's one part. Second thing is when you watch Parsons play. Does he look like he's in shape?
Yeah.
Does he look like he work hard? Look strong, look fast.
He's in shape.
Crazy motor. I hate these narratives because they don't really matter in football. Yeah. The name of the game is win games and try to win championships. And you can't win them without superstars. Now, you might have some superstars that's all the way locked in. You might have other superstars that's really locked in, but they got other stuff going on, like Travis Kelce. Great teammate. But, yo, man, I'm going to be in here with the team. Soon that's over. I'm going to go do some other stuff. On TV doing this, traveling here. Might be a little late, but I'm still dedicated. I hate these type of topics.
There's nothing I disagree with Shady McCoy more in life.
He said, who doesn't care? A lot of people care.
Because to me, and maybe because I didn't have the superstar burden, and I didn't, not maybe I didn't. I know I didn't have the superstar burden in the National Football League. There's nothing I oppose more than the superstar who doesn't realize it's about more than just what you do on the field. There's nothing I oppose more. Because the point of voluntary workouts, that ain't to work out.
Yeah.
The point of voluntary workouts is for the camaraderie. It's for the chemistry. It's for and furthermore, if you're a professional athlete, why do I have to beg you to be there? Y'all realize at home, you have to pay $1 million athletes just to hang out with their teammates.
Bonuses.
You got workout incentives. Hey, I got to pay you $250,000 just to come hang out and do what I'm paying you $1 million to do anyway. It's counterintuitive. There's nothing I can't stand more than that. Obviously, you have to be a superstar, and superstars to win. The problem, though, Clive, is he ain't winning no championships. Warren Sapp was a champion. Charles Haley, multiple champion. Lawrence Taylor was a champion. Now, sometimes I hate drawing those. Well, the difference is it's hard for me to draw those comparisons because a lot of what they did is off the field. Mike has had no off-the-field issues in the NFL, by the way. He's had no NFL off-the-field issues, so nobody at home tried to draw that correlation. But go ahead, Jay.
Let me say this. So, number one, right, they put in the workout bonuses because a lot of people, superstar players, did not come to voluntary workouts. Some just didn't want to work out. Some said at the facility, they don't work out hard enough. Because I don't know about y'all, but when you report back to an NFL facility for off-season workouts, it's dudes in top shape and it's dudes not in shape. So the trainers have to say, I got to worry about the dudes not in shape. So you start off in the workouts be really, really easy. A lot of players don't like that. And Micah's posting videos all the time of him grinding and working out and all that type of stuff. So he's probably coming in shape. Number two, we are talking about a superstar player.
Yes, he is.
Has Micah ever said anything bad about any of his teammates? No.
He's come at them.
But never said anything bad.
Micah has never said anything bad about his teammates. His podcast is done on a work day?
Off day.
His podcast is done on an off day. We all know where this social media stuff is going, right? I was talking to AJ when we was prepping for this topic, and I said I should have been more like Brett Favre and Charles Woodson and all that. I might have a gold jacket. Because when Micah steps in between them lines at OTAs, podcasts on Tuesday, he finna get him a Hall of Fame jacket. That's the type of player he is. There's no question about Micah's play.
None.
It's probably questions about the safeties play.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Micah hasn't a play question, though.
Micah has been in the league for 4 years.
That's it.
And he has 2 All-Pros and 4 Pro Bowls.
You killer.
3 out of the 4 seasons All-Pro, right?
He doesn't talk bad about his teammates. He does the podcast on the day off.
He did talk bad about his teammate this time.
Who?
Just what rejection and envy look like.
That's not his teammate anymore. That's him back in his organization. You're leaving, talking about my organization, saying we ain't gonna, you're not even here no more, dog.
Right.
So he ain't on the team no more. All I'm saying is those dudes in the locker room, we always see him have CD's back. We always see him have Dak's back. We always see him have his players back. And then when he steps in between these lines, he's the best player on the Dallas Cowboys. And we're sitting here talking about distractions and all that type of stuff.
Is it then coincidence? Is it just coincidence then that Malik Hooker, DeMarcus Lawrence, the Mike Zim, is this all just coincidence? Like, where is the responsibility of Micah Parsons is all I am asking you all at this desk. Where's the responsibility?
For what, though? Because on the field, I give you what I got to give you. And that's 3 All-Pros in 4 years. That's what I'm giving you.
The responsibility for other teammates that start on your defense to not question your commitment to the game.
But see, listen, hear me out for a second. How can you say the commitment? I just told you he got 3 All-Pros in 4 years. I'm committed to the team, all right?
Shady, here's what I know.
Is that committed?
But we're on the outside. This is coming from people that play with him, literally next to, opposite side, left defensive end, right defensive end, starting safety. You know a lot about Micah from Harrisburg. Obviously, I watch a lot of Cowboys tape. But these are people who play with him who are like, hey, bro, maybe can you not do the podcast?
So that's what I'm saying. But the problem, real quick, Chase, I'm trying to figure this part out. Because I hear what you're saying. The teammates saying this and that third, but when you watch the tape and you watch the game, them dudes ain't making them plays at all. The dude has, in 4 seasons, he has 3 All-Pros. That means, for All-Pros, I'm the best in my position in the whole NFL. So obviously, I'm doing my part. If I might talk a little bit more or I might pop, whatever that is, that's okay. When I get in this field, I'm delivering. Does that make sense?
1,000%.
Right, so them dudes, that's why them guys are gone.
Yeah, so I don't think the Cowboys have a Micah Parsons.
They can't.
Like they don't. I do think a little bit, though, and this sounds a little crazy, that Micah Parsons has a Cowboy problem. And let me explain, because if Micah Parsons was on any other team in the NFL, he would not get picked up for doing all this stuff. If he was in Green Bay and he had a podcast, people would not be picking holes in his problem.
True.
That's what happens, though, when you wear the star on your helmet. Okay? Right, wrong, and different. Like, would I like for him to have a filter? Yeah. He's unfiltered, though. That's just how he is, right? And it's a new age star. It's sort of what you get. They want to be able to break their own news. They want to be on Twitter. They want a podcast. Like, we're old heads right here. Like, this was never going on in our league when I was playing and I was a rookie. We never had to deal with this. So I do think that being in Dallas it puts a big bullseye on the star player of the Dallas Cowboys who wants to be outspoken in Twitter, who wants to be have a podcast with Bleacher Reports, who wants to do all this. And that's just how it is. I'm sick and tired of sort of people tearing this guy down because of stuff he does off the field that's not even really off the field stuff. He's just responding to tweets, and he's responding to this, and he's giving his opinion.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.